In the gripping Call of Duty universe, Task Force 141 is a legendary group known for their elite skills. But here's a fascinating fact. They're inspired by the real Task Force 145. This top-secret squad was part of the U.S. Joint Special Operations Command. It brought together American and British military experts, focusing on tracking down important targets in Afghanistan and Iraq's leadership. They played a crucial role during the Iraq War. In 2003, America launched a major invasion into Iraq. Their aims were bold: strip Iraq of its alleged weapons of mass destruction, halt Saddam Hussein's terror links, and liberate the Iraqi people. This mission demanded immense resources, time, and manpower. As battlefields transformed, unconventional forces became vital. Identifying the enemy was tricky. Special missions required elite operators skilled in precisely neutralizing key targets. Consequently, Special Operations Forces began to impact the war significantly. Despite their elite composition and strategic prowess, Task Force 145 faced significant challenges, including near misses in capturing their primary target, Abu Musab al-Zarqawi. One such instance occurred in February 2005. Zarqawi, ever the elusive target, narrowly escaped capture in a dramatic episode. In what seemed like a scene from an intense thriller, he managed to barrel through a checkpoint, just out of reach of the task force. This close call wasn't for lack of skill or preparation by Task Force 145. Instead, it was the stringent rules of engagement, ROE, that tied their hands. Rangers positioned at the checkpoint could not fire due to these strict guidelines, allowing Zarqawi a narrow window to escape. This incident highlighted not only the cunning and resourcefulness of Zarqawi, but also underscored the complexities and constraints faced by Task Force 145 in their mission. In response to this unique need, Task Force 145 was born. It was a highly specialized Joint Special Operations Force designed for seamless international cooperation. Task Force 145 emerged as one of the most clandestine, formidable, and lethal Tier 1 special operations, joint task forces. Their creation marked a pivotal moment in military operations, redefining the capabilities of special forces. This group's story is not just about military strategy, but the evolution of warfare and the birth of a new war hero. Task Force 145's narrative is a testament to the changing face of combat and the relentless pursuit of global peace and security. Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, a notorious terrorist leader, brought turmoil to the Middle East for years. Responsible for several brutal attacks, he became a top target in Jordan and Iraq, attracting a $25 million U.S. bounty, the same amount placed on Osama bin Laden. Even with Saddam Hussein's capture, Iraq continued to struggle with a strong terrorist presence. The U.S. saw combating this terrorism as a critical aim in their Iraqi invasion, recognizing the severe impact on both American service members and Iraqi citizens. This struggle underscored the ongoing challenges in the region. It highlighted the high stakes involved in stabilizing Iraq and countering terrorist influences. Zarqawi's infamy and the significant bounty on his head symbolized the intense efforts to bring an end to his reign of terror and restore peace in the Middle East. In the thick of the Iraq conflict, the United States wasn't going it alone. A continuous stream of intelligence was being gathered, with a vast array of troops and agencies spread across Iraq. This intelligence was crucial for missions targeting high-value terrorist operatives and assets. The US and the UK, inundated with this influx of data, often found themselves sifting through a mix of unreliable leads and dead ends. The urgency was palpable. Every delay brought the risk of more lives lost, necessitating swift and decisive action. Enter 2004, and a significant shift occurred with the appointment of General Stanley A. McChrystal as the commander of the Joint Special Operations Command, the epicenter of America's most elite military units. McChrystal soon grasped the breadth of challenges at hand. The US-UK alliance was under strain due to issues such as the mistreatment of prisoners, political disagreements, and rivalries between various military services. To overcome these hurdles, McChrystal initiated a comprehensive overhaul. His strategic move led to the formation of Task Force 145, destined to become one of the most formidable task forces in U.S. military history. This unit symbolized a new era in military operations, characterized by heightened efficiency, unity, and lethality. The establishment of Task Force 145 marked a pivotal moment in the U.S. military's approach to special operations, particularly in Iraq's complex and volatile environment. Task Force 145 was an unprecedented coalition, a US-UK joint task force bringing together a wide array of special operations units. This included Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, Intelligence Support Activity, the UK's Special Air Service, SAS, and Special Boat Service, SBS, and the CIA's Special Activity Center. But that's not all. The team also encompassed the 24th Special Tactics Squadron, the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, SOAR, MI6, the FBI, Army Rangers, and the Special Reconnaissance Regiments. This ensemble created one of the most covert special operations task forces the world has ever known. However, gathering the finest, the elite of the elite, in one group wasn't without challenges. It wasn't just about assembling top-tier forces under one roof. Ensuring they worked together seamlessly, without conflicts over leadership or strategy, was crucial. To achieve this, Task Force 145 was strategically divided into several smaller task forces, each maintaining the same overarching command, but focused on specific, specialized missions. This structure allowed for a blend of expertise and capabilities, ensuring that each unit could operate effectively within its area of specialization, contributing to the overall success of Task Force 145's complex and critical operations. Task Force 145 was organized into distinct subgroups, each with its specialized composition and role. Task Force Red combined the prowess of Army Rangers with Delta Force operators. Task Force Blue was equipped with SEAL Team 6 operators and Army Rangers. Task Force Green melded Delta Force operators with Army Rangers. Task Force Black was uniquely composed of UK forces, including SAS, SBS, and SRR personnel. Finally, there was Task Force Orange, the intelligence backbone of the operation, bringing together the intelligence support activity, FBI, MI6, CIA, and other intelligence agencies. Each of these task forces operated independently, yet in a coordinated manner, to carry out a range of missions across the Middle East. This structure allowed for a high degree of specialization and efficiency. The diverse capabilities of each group, ranging from direct action to intelligence gathering, ensured that Task Force 145 could adapt and respond to various challenges and scenarios. Task Force 145 wasn't just a mere coalition of elite units. It was forged with a vital and daunting mission. At the heart of their agenda was the pursuit of Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, the infamous al-Qaeda leader in Iraq. Zarqawi's actions were so reprehensible that even Osama bin Laden, a notorious figure himself, disowned him. The urgency to halt Zarqawi's campaign spree was paramount, placing him at the top of the task force's hit list. But the ambitions of Task Force 145 went beyond just one man. Their broader goal was to destabilize and dismantle the network of terrorist cells operating across Iraq. In this high-stakes chess game, Task Force 145 was a key player, granted considerable latitude in their operations. They were empowered to conduct raids and capture or neutralize insurgents without the need for higher command approval, acting on intelligence as it arrived. This proactive strategy was encapsulated in the concept known as the unblinking eye, a term coined by Sean Naylor in his book, Relentless Strike: The Secret History of JSOC. The unblinking eye represented a continuous, rapid response cycle. After a raid, the task force would immediately analyze any gathered intelligence, whether it resulted in capturing individuals, documents, or electronic devices. This information was then swiftly used to launch further operations, sometimes within mere hours of the initial raid. This approach was revolutionary. It meant that Task Force 145 didn't wait for the usual bureaucratic confirmation of intelligence. Instead, they acted instantaneously, harnessing every piece of information to maintain momentum in their campaign against terror. This relentless pursuit, the essence of the unblinking eye, was a game changer in military strategy. It transformed intelligence into immediate action, keeping the enemy perpetually off balance. The unblinking eye approach was key to Task Force 145's success. Armed with top-tier equipment, elite operators, and extensive resources, they relentlessly pursued Zarqawi. By the summer of 2005, their operations had escalated to an extraordinary level, averaging 300 raids per month, about 10 targeted missions each day, relentlessly edging closer to Zarqawi. Task Force 145's strategy evolved over time. Initially focused on high-value individuals, they widened their net to include suspected local insurgents and key figures within enemy networks. Any hint of Zarqawi's presence triggered an immediate and thorough response, employing all necessary means to gather information. This broadened approach was strategic, aiming to dismantle the entire network around Zarqawi. By hitting different levels of the insurgency, they systematically weakened the support and operational framework of the enemy. The unblinking eye symbolized their relentless pursuit and adaptability. It was not just about the hunt for Zarqawi. It represented a comprehensive effort to disrupt and disable insurgent activities, significantly impacting their operational effectiveness and reach. Following the unblinking eye approach and their strategic evolution, Task Force 145 undertook targeted operations against some of al-Qaeda's most fortified elements under the command of Lieutenant General McChrystal. A notable operation involved targeting al-Qaeda's elite unit, known as the Black Guard. The Black Guard was a specialized force dedicated to the protection of Osama bin Laden, the notorious leader of al-Qaeda. This elite group was not just a standard protective detail. The Black Guard was composed of members who were meticulously selected and personally vetted by bin Laden himself. They were known for their exceptional weapons and combat tactics skills, making them a formidable force. Each member of the Black Guard was not only a highly trained militant, but also deeply committed to their cause, ready to lay down their lives for bin Laden. Task Force 145's operations against the Black Guard were significant because they targeted the very core of bin Laden's protective circle. This was a strategic move aimed at weakening the leadership and symbolic strength of al-Qaeda. The task force's success in these operations reflected their capability to infiltrate and dismantle even the most elite and well-guarded terrorist structures. It also underscored the high level of risk and complexity involved in such missions, as the Black Guard was known for their staunch defense and unwavering loyalty to bin Laden. Zarqawi proved elusive, skillfully evading Task Force 145 time after time. Operators would find only fresh signs of his hasty exit in some raids, like unfinished meals. Despite these frustrating near misses, the task force relentlessly pressed on. Each raid was more than just a hunt. It was a crucial opportunity to gather intelligence. Seized documents and interrogations from these operations provided valuable insights, fueling further actions. This methodical approach eventually created a momentum of its own. The continuous accumulation of intelligence and persistent efforts led to a significant breakthrough. Task Force 1 45's story is one of unwavering determination and strategic intelligence gathering. This journey was edging closer to a pivotal success in their mission to capture Zarqawi. Task Force 145's intelligence work led to a breakthrough when they located Zarqawi's spiritual advisor. This clue pointed them to a suspected hideout. Acting swiftly on this intel, the U.S. military prepared a decisive strike. On June 7, 2006, an Air Force F-16 jet was deployed, dropping two 500-pound guided bombs on Zarqawi's safe house while he was in a meeting, effectively neutralizing him. Task Force 145 was among the first to arrive at the scene post-strike. Their immediate task was to secure the area, followed by locating and confirming Zarqawi's identity in the aftermath. This marked the culmination of their intense and prolonged hunt. Zarqawi, the elusive target of numerous operations and the central figure in a complex web of intelligence and military strategy, was finally apprehended. The successful neutralization of Zarqawi was a monumental accomplishment, signifying the end of one of Iraq's most notorious terrorist figures. This achievement was a major morale booster for both US and UK forces, dealing a significant blow to their adversaries. Task Force 145 fulfilled its primary mission of neutralizing Zarqawi and triumphed in achieving its secondary objective. The task force's efforts led to the apprehension of thousands of terrorists. Furthermore, they managed to capture or neutralize around 200 associates and operatives connected to Zarqawi. This widespread impact significantly disrupted the terrorist network, diminishing its operational capabilities and influence. The quest to capture Zarqawi was costly for Task Force 145, which lost about 18 operators. Delta IV faced a high casualty rate, losing roughly 20% of its members. At the same time, the Special Air Service suffered 6 killed in action and 30 wounded. Though they achieved their primary goal of neutralizing Zarqawi, the fight was far from over. Zarqawi's death, significant as it was, didn't end the widespread terrorism in Iraq. The task force's continued efforts were essential in addressing the persistent threat, highlighting the ongoing struggle and the need for relentless counter-terrorism operations in the region. When Major General Caldwell announced Zarqawi's death, he cautioned, "Although Zarqawi's capture is reason to rejoice, we must be cautious not to be overly optimistic, as one man's life does not signify an end to an insurgency." Following this significant achievement, Task Force 145 transitioned to focus on other high-profile terrorists and insurgents, evolving into Task Force 88. This task force has probably undergone several name changes over the years, adapting to different missions and operational needs. Today, it's likely that they are still active, operating globally under a new, undisclosed name, continuing their vital work in combating terrorism and insurgency. Task Force 145 stood as a beacon of tactical prowess and relentless determination in the shadows of conflict. Their story, woven into the fabric of military history, reflects a relentless pursuit of peace amidst chaos. While the battle against terrorism continues, the legacy of Task Force 145 remains, a testament to courage, strategy, and the unyielding spirit of those who fight for security. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more insights into the world's most elite military units.